The biggest mistake I ever made on my fitness journey was I literally got too complacent. I got way too complacent, right? Like back when I first started, I was going real hard in the gym. I was studying all the time, just trying to figure out like different ways I can build muscle, trying to figure out how the body works. I was always doing my research. I was always looking to find looking to find ways to improve my physique. I was hungry. I had a desire for it. I was trying to get jacked. Like in the early days, I was binging a lot of different content creators. Doing I was researching different things, finding different articles on like on fitness and weight loss and hypertrophy, all that kind of stuff. I wanted to understand. I wanted to understand how it works, right? I was really invested in it because back in the days, I was a little bit. I came up. I was a little bit more scrawny, more skinnier. And, I wanted to be taken more seriously, and a lot of it too was like fear of like getting jumped and stuff like that. I don't know. I was very like paranoid back in the day. So I was like really curious into figuring out how fitness works and all that good stuff. Like I wanted to understand how to put on muscle, how to get jacked. There's a lot of different factors that drove me, like and at the time the Creed movie came out and when I saw Creed I saw Michael B. Jordan and I was like, damn, I want to look like that guy. Like I really want to look like that guy. And and that's kind of where it started. Just like back in 2018, 2019, when it all started, I was hungry. I was driven. I was like, I wanted to get jacked. I wanted to know the secrets. I was really enthusiastic about it, right? And in time, I did achieve the physique that I manifested that physique. I got the physique that I'd always dreamed of. I got jacked. I got lean. And like I got there. I got to that point where I was happy. I was satisfied. I got to that point. Like I reached it. You know, it's like y'all ever seen One Piece? Like I found the One Piece. You know what I mean? Like I reached that top of the mountain. Right. I got that desired goal. But I noticed I started once I reached that goal. You have people telling you things like people always complimenting you, telling you how jacked you are, all this type of stuff. Once you start hearing that in your ear all the time, you start to really believe it. You start to believe, oh, I really have made it. I've reached my goal. Like, and you get cocky. Once you get cocky, that's what I found. I was getting cocky. I got too arrogant. I got to a point where I felt like I already know everything there is to know about fitness. I don't need to learn anymore, right? I don't need to research anymore. I don't need to train as hard as I used to, right? Like I already reached it, right? I got complacent. That's the most dangerous thing. Like in any field, right? Not even just fitness, but that's the most dangerous place you can ever get if you get complacent. You start to think you're all that. Think you start to think you've already won. That's the most dangerous. You have to be when people give you the flattering compliments, they start telling you how great you are. Like you almost have to be deaf when you hear that. Like, because that actually will set you back if you let it. Because then you think that you think that you're him. I mean, I am him, but like you always have to be improving. You can't. How do I say this? It's one of those things where it's like I heard Patrick Bet Davis say this once. He's like he was on Chris William podcast and he said you're not as good as you no you're not as bad as you think you are, but you're also not as good as you think you are, right? And you always gotta remember where you came from, right? In order to stay hungry. You always remember, like for example, for my case, I had to remember where I came from. I had to remember that I used to be skinny at one point. I used to be scrawny at one point. There was a point where I couldn't go to the gym because of COVID lockdowns. And there was times when I was binge watching like all these gym reels, wishing I could be them. Those gym reels during the COVID lockdown times. You gotta remember those dark times. You gotta remember the times. You gotta remember who you used to be. You gotta remember where you came from because that you gotta remember that hunger. You gotta get back to that spot where you were like hungry. Because if you lose that hunger, you get complacent. If you don't try as hard anymore. That's what I found in myself. I stopped trying as hard. I got complacent. Got to a point where I was like, I thought I knew everything, right? And I got humbled because I had a friend who was like, he was really into fitness as a trainer. Like, I learned a lot from him. And through learning from him, I realized I don't know as much as I think I do. So I was humbled. I was like, oh, there's another level. You know what I mean? And I gotta keep learning. You always gotta be a student in this game, right? In any type of field you get into, you always have to be a student. You never want to get complacent because that's the most dangerous thing. Because if you get complacent, you get stuck at a level for so long, right? You get to level 5, you miss out on levels 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, right? Like you can't afford to get complacent. That's why you gotta be in that mindset where it's like there's always more to learn in anything, right? It doesn't matter if you're level 100, level 1000. There's always levels you could learn, right? There's always something new you could learn. Like it's kind of like y'all ever seen the Rocky movies when Rocky is I think it's Rocky 2 or 3 where he trains with Apollo because he loses a fight and his trainer died and everything, and then because he was cocky, he lost that one fight because he was cocky. But when he was fighting Creed in the beginning, when he fought Apollo in the beginning, he had that hunger, he had the eye of the tiger, he had the edge to him, but he lost it because he got too comfortable. And that's kind of the point I'm trying to make here. Is you don't want to get too comfortable. You don't want to get complacent. Like even though you're killing it, you gotta remember where you came from. You gotta remember where you started. You gotta remember why you started in that drive, right? And so this past couple months, I've been trying to get back to that, get that hunger back, get that drive back. 'Cause I got complacent. I got to a point where I was like, yo, I'm already king of this shit, but I'm not. I gotta be a student. I gotta be a student of the game, right? By the way, if you're looking to get into fitness and all that stuff, like, and you're not sure where to start, you kind of find it hard to, like, you feel like you don't know what you're doing. You kind of find it hard to like get a routine going or stay consistent, and you just don't really have a fitness background. You're not sure where to start. I'm happy to announce that I have started one-on-one coaching. If you hit that link in the description, you can book a call with me, and we'll figure out if it makes sense to work together. And yeah, let's reach your fitness goals. And with that being said, thanks for enjoying thanks for watching the video. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. Send this to someone who needs to hear it. And remember, there's nothing enlightening about playing small. Catch you guys in the next video. See ya.